I brought drinks. Alright, yeah. Alright, now you got my attention. What you got to say about what's worth a round of drinks? Tell me what's going on. Like I said, the miller is in charge of the grain prices. He says they're fair, but I know for the fact that folks like Afura pay him half as we do. And maybe we've been rough with him, but we're supposed to do. We can't keep paying. We're going to starve. You think Trumbull's going to be sorry about what we do? Well, there's no sense of threatening him. You have him up against the wall. Maybe you could ask other villagers for help. Right, things go on like they are. They're going to end up hanging. From the tree out there. Tell Trumbull we'll leave him be. Don't know what we'll do now. The crop's failing. We haven't got another tray to speak of. Think Pasca needs a hand around the inn? Should we ask her?
Hello.
Hello. You only serve porridge? He shakes his head quickly. No. Well, it isn't by choice, I assure you, but we serve some of the finest meals in Direwood. We got the damn old run of luck. It's a bad season for the crops, and we're running low on supplies. I sent Tenforth up north to stock. Tenforth is a cook, you see. Artist with a good roast. It's been days since he's supposed to return. We haven't seen any sign of him. I've only taken up from a last owner myself, and I don't know what I'll do if he doesn't turn up. I can try to find him. Really? Be grateful if you did. He's traveling through Valewood, and probably nothing. Broken wheel, maybe? Don't. But I do worry. You seem safe at home, and I think everyone here will be singing your praises. Nobody much likes my porridge. Know about the Black Hound? Really? Well, let me see. The actual building's been here for years, but the Black Hound's fairly new. Got a lot of new faces in here, too. Fewer than I used to, I'll admit. I used to work the tables, actually, until the old owner up and left. Nobody's sure what happened to him. Even his poor hound. Or left his poor hound behind. That's the name, see? The Black Hound. He's still sitting upstairs, pining after him. Poor old. Okay. So we gotta find a dude. Okay, so what quest do we got? So you can fight Tenforth. Report to Trumbull. Okay, we can do Trumbull first. Yeah, we'll talk to Trumbull first. Can I talk to my own guys here? Do I have their own quests?
Hey.
Yeah, we can. I wonder if we could quest from him, actually. I hope there's an old watcher still there. It's been years. What does he want to ask the watcher? Just those things about the past, about the war. But thinking about missing my chance of finding out what I wanted to know. And the old watcher, though, opens up new possibilities. Just wondering about Aethys.
It makes two of us.
Do you still worship him?
In my way. I don't suppose he expects me to show up at his temple these days. Not much left to do for him other than keep his memory alive and keep hoping that he's just been playing a joke on all of us these past 15 years.
I like the voice actor. As far as I know, he hasn't said anything to anybody since Goldhammer detonated. Why worship him then? Well, if it turns out that he's not dead, and I gave up on him, I have betrayed my god twice. Even the god of redemption's got to have standards. I'll probably be reborn as a fat Amusa's horse. What does there know about it?
If you're looking to find religion, maybe you want to start with a god that hasn't been burned to dust, but I won't stop you. Aethys, he was a young man with a silver crown. Carried a candle around with him. Sounds like I'm giving a bad eulogy here.
He was, well, he had a lot of different things to different people, I guess. Rebirth, redemption, light. Out in the country, he's Guan, the farmer who helps all things pass, seasons and people both. He watches over the weak, does Guan. Sees imbalances made right. You could see why the copperless rowdies all around here might take a liking to someone like that. Real popular here for a time. These days, you won't find too many worshipping Aethys out in the open. It's hard to know who still does it in private and who has given up. Feels like I'm the last one sometimes. If that's the case, he deserves all the mourning. Why'd you choose to worship in the beginning?
Raised that way. My family's been Aethasian going way back. Suppose it wasn't much of a choice at first. Don't know for sure why my family started worshiping him. Probably because of Gon looking after folks like us.
Could well just be my ancestors did something so bad that Aethys could forgive. I'll explain a lot where I got some of my respectable traits. Did you only worship because that's how you were raised?
Mm-mm. There was something I genuinely liked about Aethys. Always. Like he understood people better than the other gods. Knew all our flaws and weaknesses and accepted us for that. Folks are at their worst when they're afraid. A god like Aethys, he made you realize there was nothing to fear. Made you a better person. Of course, he goes away for a few years, and look what happens.
What made you think Waden didn't speak for Aethys?
Was his actions. Not when he started his rebellion, and not even when he took over Rhaed Saris. It was when he sent his armies into Deerwood.
Up to that point, he was sticking up for his people. That's what Aethys does. At least the Gon part of him. The farmers were starving, and their government didn't lift a finger. Figured if it wasn't for Aethys himself, at least he had the right idea. But then he sent armies across the border, even crossed it himself in the end. Word has it he's chasing refugees that escaped the rebellion. Wanted to punish them and punish us for allowing them to live here. That just didn't fit for me. These were deeds of vengeful gods. Skane or Boudica, maybe. Or just a man who lost his sense. I still have trouble believing it, but there's no one left to ask if it's true. What about the purges?
You sure you don't want to talk about something more pleasant? Like the War of Black Trees or the Legacy or something?
It's eye-opening. See how naked you are when there's no god to protect you. Saints' War was hard time. For Deerwoodian, people thought that at the end times they talked big about how they were going to defeat the god. But I don't think there was a wise man from here to the White Marsh that didn't think he was going to die. It does something to you, thinking you're going to die at someone else's hand. This rage that comes. Oh my god. Indignation. Imagine the whole country full of that. Might have been Cold Morn that started it. Town near the border, they let Waedrin march right on through. The rest of Deerwood cursed their names to the end of the war. Some say that Aethasians there were to persuade the town not to oppose the army. Others said it was just cowardice. It was like the Legacy that way. No one knew the real reason. They just picked whichever one best suited what they wanted to believe. Either way, the town was burning before the first ashes of Aethys hit the ground. And I felt good. Felt good to the people here. To be controlled after being so helpless. So the fire spread, and a lot of Aethasians went to the way of our god. There were claims from the Church of Megrin that she's actually commanded the purges. I found it hard to believe. It sounded to me like the people were doing what they wanted, wrapping their god around like he was a cloak. Then again, that's what I thought about Waedwin.
What's on your mind?
Ask you something? What'd you do before this?
Oh, other than the war, I never strayed too far from where you found me. Farming, mostly. I was never much for cities. Never learned a trade. In my younger days, I thought I was going to go preach the word of Aethys, just in our temple there. My parents encouraged it. I made so much trouble for them growing up. They used to say it'd be best if I got in good with the God of Redemption. Of course, us blowing him up probably didn't help my chances there. But if anybody'd forgive you for blowing him up, it'd be Aethys.
People at Kitaville really try to kill you?
They, they did. It was strange timing, because we just won the war. They celebrated when I came home. There was music and dancing. Trumbull used half his grain making this big honey cake. I still dream about that cake. Like having the best lover of your life, but only for one night. And they were all sorry to hear about my brother. Took a while for word of the purges to reach us. Aethasians being murdered in the streets. Cold morn and the like. No way would they let something like that happen in Gilded Vale. That's what they all said. But the weeks went by and the purges spread. Pretty soon they weren't so sure my brother fought for Deerwood. And they weren't so sure I did. Caught me by surprise after all the celebrating. Should have seen it coming after the tailor said he was gonna fit me for some new clothes, but then all he wanted was my neck measurement.
Really?
Nah, not that last part. But you had to think about it. Says a lot about the place I've been calling home all these years.
Why'd you stay so long in a town that hated you?
Well, I'm sure my parents are still wondering the same thing. The Aethasian purges were like this madness had come over the town, like a disease. Seems like when you see something like that, your instinct is to wait for it to pass, even when you know it probably won't. The family whose farm I worked on, they had a little hollowborn girl. And they heard the Animancers had this cure, the salvation it was called. They went running. This salvation, they were putting animal souls in children.
Oh.
You might have heard about it. Giving them enough personality to care for themselves. You can guess how that turned out. Matter of time, the children broke down. Became wild things. Monsters. Anyway, these farmers put the family dog's soul in their little girl. For a while, the girl, she's making eye contact, she's feeding herself, albeit in a kind of messy way. And one day she snaps. They found her gnawing on her brother's bones. Had to chain her up, put her in a cow pen.
Damn.
Well, the mother, she wouldn't have anything to do with the girl after that. But the father, he'd visit every day. Feed her chickens, toss water on her once in a while to get the dirt off. Most of the village, they'd whisper about him. Poor man, they'd say, sick with grief. He was just waiting for his daughter to look up one day and recognize her papa. He was waiting for her to get better. Didn't understand that at the time, of course, but these days I think about him a lot.
You have family? Just my parents. They took a ship back to Adair. The purges started. Wanted me to go with them. I didn't see things like they did. Been a long time since I've seen them. Really should visit. For some reason, I haven't much felt like leaving home. Good thing they chased me out. I might have never left.
What's on your mind?
All right. What about you then? Tell me about Adair. I've been gone more than a year now, and I suspect I'll always think about the forest and the fields of Adair as home. We have thousands of years of history and tradition behind us, and there's a sense of dignity and responsibility that comes with that. Of course, there's baggage as well. Our imperial past is still fresh in the minds of many, and you still have noticed here. Has it been difficult to adjust to Deerwood? People here are informal, hot-blooded, more attentive to insult and duty. But as long as one avoids provocation, it's easy to get along. I've gotten accustomed enough to keep my thoughts to myself anymore. Well, how long were you here? Not much longer than you. As you saw, it was hardly the haven that has been advertised. Any thoughts what we should do next? Well, you're in charge here. As far as I'm concerned, any place is better than Gilded Vale. Alright.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, come back. I
Hey.
need all of us. Okay, let's go talk to the miller.
Of course.
I like when they let us do this.
Gods keep you.
We spoke to Swainer. What did he say? I convinced him to leave your family in peace. Well, that's great news. I wasn't sure he'd get through to him. We're out of their minds with drink half the time. Are you a great debt here? Today's earnings show you my appreciation. You can be sure I'll let everyone know what you've done. Do I want to be greedy? Say I'm glad to help and just take it? Or really greedy I could be. Or tell him to keep it. No, glad to help. I'll take his money. 20 copper. Not really much. Cheapskate. Okay, so I think we're gonna need to leave town. So we can go to Valewood. I think there was something. This is where we gotta go. Alright, so Gilded Vale. What else? Travel to the Black Meadow. Marewood. Travel to Anslog Compass. Okay. Any better? Use draws. Trip to the north for supplies. Okay. Maybe nothing is in that one zone. Okay, southeast. And Slog is where? To the south. So we got north and south. Okay, maybe south? Or should we go north? Let's actually go north. Let's see if we can get that cook. Let me get these mushrooms. Yeah, if we get that cooked, maybe we can get some better food at the end, maybe? Something better at the end? Oh, can we not go up from here? Oh, we have to go here. Okay. Let's speed it up a little bit. To the north? This is the only place I can go. Maybe go to Valewood?
Yeah.
That works. That was so much better than doing it by myself.
Sure.
Hey.
His aged walls appeared to have more encircling this entire glade. Only a small fragment remains of the stairs leading to the top of the structure have crumbled away. Examine it. Heavy bricks are slick with moss, presenting hindrance to climbing, but the stones themselves seem sturdy enough given the right tools one might reach the top. Scale it. Uneven surface, promise difficult climb. Who will scale it? Myself. You find a handhold upon the large stones. You start to pull yourself up, but the uneven breaks and odd angles adjacent to climb difficult. After a short distance, your arms begin to burn too fiercely and you're forced to drop back down. Should we try a deer? Okay, he needs athletics, so he's right at the top. Help tip over the side. Fantastic. Okay, here's this. +2 to dexterity. I can't have any more of those. Scrawled letter. I do not think you'll ever see this, but you were right, Fulvano. We should have journeyed south together, and it'd be safer for it. I would tolerate all the gloating in the world if I might have to live near it. I have to put myself out of reach for the beasts circling below. But I am done for all the same. I do not think I will rise again. Whoever finds this, pray for me. Perhaps the next life I should be a trapper of the woods. Okay, I can't pick that up because I can only have 4. Climb down. Perfect. Well, the cook is over here, isn't it? That's right. Okay.
Hey.
Damn.
You're not getting through me.
Magic missile for the freaking win. Stealing all the stuff.
Greetings.
By the flame, thank you, thank you, thank you. I thought I'd be stuck cooking for these ignorant weasels for the rest of my life. Or until they were bored with me, I suppose. Pasca send you? She must be beside herself. Must get back at once. But listen, next time you're in Gildaville, make sure you drop by the Black Hound. I'll let her know what you've done for me. I'm sure she'll do the right by you in turn. Oh, to be back at my oven again.
All right, then.
Okay. Okay, there's something that might be up here more. Possibly the bear, right? Or just a dead body that some dude killed him. Oh, it's right here. Oh, no, there's a bear. All right.
Hey.
Let's go. Let's go.
Hey, leave it to me!
Yes?
Try the blind.
Ah, thank you.
Oh, well, that was a waste. Didn't expect to kill him that quick.
Of course.
Cave coral. Grab this stuff before we talk to whoever that is. Ice crawling through the eye sockets and femurs. Great sword. Reach out. Reach out to him. Light blooms, you feel the sun at your back, and the weight of the bow in your hands. You know suddenly that you have come a long way from the vale, hunting deer. Now you're standing before a cavern. The darkness extends far into the depths. Even so, your friend strides out before you, his red cloak flapping at his heels. You follow, heart hammering in your chest, as you deeper into the cavern. There is a roar like thunder echoing around. Fear seizes you. You cast a stumbling back towards the exit, towards the light to escape. You see a glint of steel, and then all of a sudden, a terrible flash of agony behind your knee. You scream, stumble, and fall. Your thoughts are chaos, lance through. At the moment of the terrible clarity, you see your friend looking back from the mouth of the cavern, his dagger dabbled in crimson to match his cloak. Then there is a great dark shape above you. There is more pain. Vision recedes as you are thrown back into yourself with seemingly resentful force. The corpse lies at your feet. The specter lingers. The span of energy between you both, you sense of questioning and confusion, of anger. I met your friend on the road. You were betrayed. Okay, yeah, his anger. I'll find him, see that he answers for what he's done. Spirit burns bright. Your head fills with a sickly triumph. Your spirit seems to weaken in the force around the exhalation, growing fainter and fainter until you're alone.
Hey.
Alright, we're going back to town. I don't know if we should try to go after village. I don't know if it's worth it. Oh shit. Saved right here. This is not going to go well. Do you have any good AoEs? I don't think so. Well, maybe.
How may I help? Ah, thank you. Where is that?
Leave it to me!
Alright, worked out a little better than expected.
Of course.
Strut's supporters were large enough to be the ribs of vertebrae of a dragon. I was expecting a little more than that. Okay. I think there's one little spot over here we haven't opened up. I believe. I don't know. Maybe not. That might be the end. Oh, that's the end. Okay.